In this video, we will cover how to get help with the Microsoft for Startups dedicated GPU cluster. For help with the GPU cluster, your first contact should be your dedicated startup advisor, startup development manager, or cloud solutions architect. They can assist you with any questions on credits, benefits, quota and capacity planning, architecture, as well as with help in facilitating technical escalation to the AI startup solution architects into Azure Machine Learning as needed to best support you. If you haven't engaged with them yet, please reach out to preferredsup@microsoft.com with your query to get connected. For break-fix issues with Azure services, Azure machine learning environments, or compute clusters, please file a support ticket with Azure Support in the Azure portal. Startups eligible for the GPU cluster have Pro Direct Azure support plans, which provide up to 1-hour response SLAs for severe blocking issues. Let's look at how to file an Azure support ticket and some best practice tips on working with Azure support to get you unblocked and back to building as soon as possible. To file an Azure support ticket, first sign into the Azure portal and navigate to the Help plus Support service and select Create a Support Request. The first page is the problem description. To ensure your support case gets routed to the right team as soon as possible, please indicate the following values: issue type technical, service Azure Machine Learning, resource, go ahead and select your impacted Azure resource such as your workspace or your compute cluster. Under summary, provide a description of your issue. Under problem type, select either compute cluster or environment. And under problem subtype, go ahead and select the closest from the dropdown that fits. Once you're done with those, click Next to continue. Next, Azure Support will suggest resources that may help alleviate your issue. Sometimes these resources can be helpful in troubleshooting. If it isn't useful, go ahead and click Next to continue. The next section is additional details that can vary in format depending upon the service and issue type that you select. It's recommended to provide specific time durations, error messages, and attach any Azure Monitor logs from your Azure ML job, for example, that you have available to help Azure support and service teams support you in debugging. To enable support and service team engineers to diagnose and remediate any issues by reviewing your Azure Machine Learning compute logs, it's recommended to select Yes to allow collection of advanced diagnostic information. Please make sure to select the right severity to determine your response time. For minimal business impact, so SEB-C, that's going to be within 4 business hours. For moderate business impact, so SEB-B, that's going to be within two business hours. And finally, for severe blocking issues, select critical business impact, so SEB-A, to get a response within 1 business hour. Pay special attention to support contact method and info. Ensure the phone number is correct or it'll delay you getting your issue resolved. Please add comma-separated emails as well to the additional email for notification line for your assigned startup advisor or startup development manager. This will enable them to facilitate technical escalation as necessary throughout the case. Finally, click Next and then review your case submission before clicking Create. To conclude, you are supported on the Microsoft for Startups GPU cluster by a dedicated team of startup advisors, AI solutions architects, and backed by Azure support and Azure machine learning service teams. Your first point of contact again is going to be your account team. For break-fix issues, reach out directly to Azure support for round-the-clock global support. You have an Azure Pro Direct support plan. Make sure to use it early and often when you encounter a blocking issue. Reference the 6 steps we covered in this video to take advantage of this Azure support benefit to get unblocked and keep building on the Microsoft for Startups dedicated GPU cluster.